There it is, everybody. I'll get one with a seal and it'll be in a little folder, diploma thing. I'll get all of it in a couple weeks. Started circa 2015, took till 2023 to finally complete. 8 years of time have went by of me doing this not once, but now twice. A wreck interrupted the first time, and I finally finished it. Finished my path. The haters keep saying that I ain't got no money and this, and for some reason, somehow, Matthew, the guy that likes to go by Neil, the one that pulled his balls out online for kids or whoever else that might see that video that got leaked around from Iceman's stream. Yeah, that weirdo. Uh, he claimed to have known somehow how much I spent at a dispensary or something. Whatever. But anyways, if that's true, if you think that I spent like a couple hundreds of dollars, why would you think I couldn't spend $100 to pay for my schooling? Y'all don't know nothing about my financial situation. But well, forget it. But that's me. I graduated. All I gotta do now is pass the nationals, which I passed the last three attempts at the test. It's a 100 question exam. It's really not that hard. Then I go turn in my resume for jobs, and obviously, needless to say, I won't be putting a list of those job searches on here or anywhere or talking about them. So, good luck, Workyverse, on trying to keep me out of an industry I went to school for. For people who say that they care about me, no, 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 this is the way they'll see. It used to be they were doing all this because they cared for me and they just wanted me to get help. And then they'd be all for me, doing whatever. Now they're trying to spin it as I'm so dangerous and need so much help that I don't need to be around the public or let alone in healthcare or whatever. And they're out of their minds. For the past 10 years, I have done healthcare. Home healthcare is healthcare. I worked for agencies and I worked privately. And that private experience counts. I don't care what anybody says. Private meaning I was employed dir- privately directly from the client. So now that we got this done, let's play some music. Oh, they thought they were going to be able to keep me from, uh, they thought they were going to be able to keep me from, oh no.
This is Dave, head of marketing at a ketchup company, about to use Grammarly to handle.
Celebration. Yahoo! Yahoo! Celebrate good times. Come on. Fake document. Okay. All right. There's been footage of me going to class and YouTube videos and their lives and everything else, and footages of me in a white lab coat and everything else. And I assure you, I got here. I'll just do this, even though I know you don't really care. I'm doing it for the people that do care or that actually give a shit. All right. See that? Gotta act, these are copies for employers. This is a temp copy. This is the picture you saw. This was not ordered online. This was printed off at the institution, at the college institution that's accredited. It's not a fake document. Because guess what? When I take this into a place to get a job, all they got to do is call the school. Oh, and also once I pass my state certification, I'll have a number. So that'll verify me as well with the job. Try to keep pushing that false narrative. It ain't gonna work. Uh, I don't know why people can't just be happy. Yeah, I do good. I pass fair and square. I mean, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. I didn't ever do any of my like, next thing you're gonna know, they're gonna start saying they're gonna start trying to say things like, oh, It's a horrible institution or something, you know. Like, number one, the institution made me get a medical waiver from my doctor. They got I signed an agreement. I didn't smoke actively during my clinicals, right before I went on shift or anything like that, you know. And regardless of that, the workyverse, these people that have been harassing me, they still managed to fuck around anyways, that they caused me to basically be kicked out of the institution I was doing my clinicals at. Well, since I was so close to finishing, all I had to do was go up to the school and do some simulation training up there to finish the little bit left I had left. And they just, basically technically, that the school's allowed to adjust things if they need to. You don't have to pass a drug test to take the national exam. You have to pass a drug test when you go get a job, and I will pass my drug test because once I get to looking for a job, I'm gonna get this formula of stuff that cleanses your system out in 3 days of any THC. It's a essential oil based formula that actually works. I've used it before for drug tests. I'm smoking a vape. I'm not smoking right now, actually. So, what will be good evidence? There's nothing wrong with me smoking right now. I'm not. Even if I would, like you're acting as if I'm smoking right this moment. I'm not. But even if I were, let's say hypothetically, how would this be good evidence of anything? Because I'm allowed to take the national exam and get certified. But if I'm legally smoking, I can't get a job if I'm using it medically. I told everybody and made it clear I'm letting my license lapse and I'm going to stop. By the time I get a job, it will be out of my system. It doesn't matter if you have bong hits on video or whatever. That doesn't matter because I'm gonna quit my therapy with marijuana. It doesn't matter. I've been made aware that yes, even though it's legalized in medical use to work in healthcare, it's a gray area. Oh, I can work on the medication I take. I sure the hell can. I sure the hell can. That's another misnomer too that y'all made up. That's such bullshit. They're gonna try to say that I can't work on the medication I take, but JM can be an EMT and drive an ambulance and takes the boxing. Yeah, okay. There is no list of drugs that prohibit phlebotomists. That's the most bullshit I've ever heard. The only thing that applies with that would be whatchamacallit, marijuana. No, I won't because that's bullshit. You know why? Because I worked with a phlebotomist who has taken, uh, let's just say they were on a controlled drug. You can take medicine prescribed by a doctor and be a phlebotomist. Yes, you can. That is the most bullshit I've ever heard. There are medicine, like if you were to be like a pilot or a driver, things like that. Yeah, those things. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised that there's not something like that for JM with driving an ambulance. But I mean, you know, I think that would be stupid though, because if the doctor's prescribed it to him, obviously the doctor thinks he can, and after he's taken it for a while, he's adjusted to it, so he obviously can function on it. He's not impaired. I'm telling you, like, because my instructor knows what medicine I take, and they told me that the only thing I'm going to have a trouble with is the medical marijuana. You know, I mean, so you can just stop with that. Yeah, I will address about Army. Army, look, you have been outed, and I'll say this. I've and I'm not giving credit to the people that made stuff on you that have made stuff on me. But I will say this. This will be a very rare occurrence because there was one similarity. Same thing you did with me. Do you remember that message you sent me on Instagram and then unsent? You knew, just like everyone else does, that I am slow as fuck with my Instagram. Sometimes I would go days without checking it. I've gotten better, but you you know, so you saw when I did check it, and then you knew it'd probably be a while before I came back on. And when I finally responded, which I did respond real back, I came back on later. You unsent the message. Why? Because you didn't want me to take a picture of it. The message was, would I pay and not tell and subscribe if she set up an OnlyFans? Like, would I not leak it to anybody or anything? And then you played a voicemail of mine going back 6 months ago to October. What did I tell you when you asked me about the OnlyFans? Because you asked me that for two reasons. You either wanted me to say yes, so you could screenshot it and use it and be like, "Oh my God, look," or you wanted to just, or you were just trying to see if you could trust me or not. Well, I who keeps a voicemail of somebody from 6 months ago calling you crying about stuff that you're helping them with on? Because back then you were helping me, remember? Back then you were my top mod and all that shit. So yeah, because I don't even have your number now. So I think it's pretty evident that you set guys up and you've been doing it a while. and you like to play sympathy to get attention, which is sickening. I don't know it. Like, see, these people, that's the difference between me and y'all. Y'all have experienced and seen a lot of different people that do things like this. Where I come from, it's not normal. All right. There isn't people that's faking stuff. And I mean, it happens, but and it's extremely rare, like the time that it happened with me when I was falsely accused. Like, what y'all don't get, Army, you were just trying to get the attention off of me. How could you have why were you trying to move in a guy who was a pedophile with your children? That is horrible. Like, you showed your real true colors. You really did. It would have paid off if you had been an ally of mine, Army, but you just didn't know. It's funny also how you came around when I told people I'd gotten some money. Hmm. It's funny how that always has a correspondence with it. Try to trust me, you weren't the only one. People act like I was given a jackpot or something. And then these people that like to maliciously go at me, calling it dead Jew money, just boils my blood. You know, Army, don't call me a pussy and tell me to come to your panel. Because number one, if you call me names, I'm gonna call you names. And then we're gonna have the people that throw out misogyny and disrespect and not gentlemanly and all that stuff when it's about equality. Look, yeah, I like to try to be a gentleman, but when a woman doesn't act like a woman, then, I never would agree with the idea that you have to hit a woman unless they are actively attacking you, and I mean really attacking you, and you just hit them to get them out the way to go. But I would never, ever, uh, you know, other than maybe call you a name, Army. I never, you know, be outright disrespectful to you because you are. Um, I never tried, or what I'm trying to say is I never tried to be outright disrespectful towards women in general. And yeah, that includes even Army because they do create life and that is sacred. And so I hold that on a higher position. People don't understand how sacred it is to create life. I'm not going to let Army up on panel because I don't need to talk to her. She obviously, um, Like I found out she knew she told Mike not to get in trouble and don't go to jail when he came down to my house. She tried lying to me, saying she had no idea about it, any of it, until after the fact. She knew when it was happening that he was coming down here. She actually knew. What I decided to do was I had decided to take a I'm sorry, I'm having went down the wrong pipe. I'm having a little bit of brain fart too mixed with it. Um, so with Army, I don't need to talk to her anymore. She's shown all of her true, self to me, and she knows what these people have done with my talking about my mom and everything else. But she literally likes to play with their narrative and this other narrative about calling people. People shouldn't be so quick to call someone unless you know they do something really. I mean, other than the times me on live when it's late and I've fallen asleep, I've never came on here and like slurred my words. I may have come on here and talked um, more drawn out because it was late at night. I had taken maybe my last medication for the night, but I get up every day and go to bed every day regularly as much as possible with my sleep issues. Try to stay active. Um, I only take, I do, JM said today I take 8 milligrams. That's a lie. I do not either. I reduced that by two officially. And some days I've only been taking four. It's not the whole six. Same thing. The reason why most people get 16 milligrams of buprenorphine, right? Here again, keep in mind most people that have an opioid addiction don't have chronic pain issues or have or the ones that it stems from the medical part of being prescribed opioids and getting hooked that way. The mere fact of the reason why I am prescribed the 24 milligram Suboxones is because if I were to just be taking it for maintenance purpose only, I would just take two strips every morning in the morning. That would be the directions. But I don't. When I wake up, I wait for about an hour or so after I wake up when it really starts to hurt. And that's when I take it. And then I take one every 8 hours. And after the second one's taken, If it gets late at night good enough and I can rest and stay rested the way I am, I will go to bed without taking that third one. So I can make it on just 16 milligrams a day. And I do on some days. But because it says take one every 8 hours as needed. So people don't understand. And the workers hadn't been clear on explaining how my medication is structured and why I'm prescribed what I am. And the third thing I'm prescribed is duloxetine twice a day. And that's it. That's it. Oh, such a junk box. Oh my God. You know how many more people I know that have so many. I should have let this one go. Let what go? I am letting it go. I'm done with Army. I wish her well and peace. I see the type of person she is. That's cool. Hey, you know, I'm not God, but at the same time, I don't like ugly. I don't think God does either. And she was definitely ugly towards me. Okay? I don't hate her. I don't wish anything but the best for her. I really do. I hope that she never, you know, for the sake of, you know, uh, oh, are you talking about me bringing up the fact that she tried to let a guy move in that was a pedophile? Should let that one go. Oh, well, I'm sorry. It's been circulating so much all over YouTube here lately, especially on No Life Mike video. I've seen it a couple times circulated. So, yeah, my bad, but I mean, that's just the truth. When I try to deny it, I mean, that'd be like me trying to say, no, I didn't have an accident. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Every time I try to certain my dominance as a man, as you say, I don't see it that like that. I see it as just asserting myself. Like it's dangerous to do to. That's why I say I'm not going to make any videos or talk about Army anymore or anything, because hell, uh, they could try to, you know, she could get so offended or with the fact she's done certain things that she's done. I don't even want to talk about her. I don't even want to be associated with her. That shit of that whole thing of guys getting hemmed up for things they didn't do. I don't like. Here's what I'm talking about. Here's what I'm talking about. Well, well, please. You know my heart, Mom. Mom, you were an addict. You told me everything and taught me a lot. Please. Am I not doing the right thing? Then why are all these people doing this? I love you, Mom. I miss you. I promise I'll keep going, Mom. I promise. Amen. Fucking assholes. Oh, I know. I was told that they had said that stuff, and that's the other thing. Like they called and then Fusion calls me this morning, and I'm barely awake. I see it's a Missouri number, so I answer, and I hung up, and I sat down. I was like, oh shit, and I said, fuck, what the? I was like, what the hell could this guy want? And so I picked my phone up and I went back and I'm like, what do you want, man? I'm like, I done seen your community post where, you basically said, good riddance to me and da da da, and, and I'm thinking I'm talking to him just privately. No, he's got me aired live. Didn't even tell me. I find out after the fact thanks to frickin' Duster or Enlightened. He kept trying to call and text from different numbers and everything else. And finally, I sent a text to one of the numbers. I was like, what's your face told me that you're live and that you aired my call. And he's like, oh, it's one party state. It's legal to record. It's legal to record. I don't know about airing. Every time I've ever had somebody live on the air, I would tell them. Like, that's just some fucking weasel shit. To have somebody on the phone call them and have them on speakerphone with a live's going and the microphone's hot. That is some weasel ass shit. I'm not going back to books for Moses. Casey or Army freaking practically rules this chat, and and he's got this thing where he's not hiding anybody. I know why the Workyverse has him doing that. It's because they want him to think that they'll donate, and they will. They'll donate a little bit of money, but Books is going to end up seeing it in the end. He's going to be end up being trolled. He's going to get done wrong by them. They're going to trick him up, set him up into something. You mark my words. And I say that with the best intentions. I've been trying to be a friend of Books and get close to him, and they have been trying to keep it from happening. You can see it in every chat. Brewski, if that is you, Brewski, you got a lot of nerve telling me I can't call her a cunt. She gonna call me a pussy, play messages where I called her in mental distress, crying in confidence when we were supposed to be so-called friends back months ago. Dude, fuck off. I had heard that you said that you wanted to punch me in the throat, yeah? Well, I'd like that. I'd like to see that happen. We'd be in person. I guarantee you I'd say whatever I say right now directly to your face and you wouldn't do shit. Same with most of these people. I'd say that whatever I wanted to your face, you wouldn't do shit. And if you did do something, it would be in the future. So in the future, by that point, I wouldn't have any medical marijuana anymore. So I'd be legally able to possess and carry my firearm. And then if you attacked me in any way and made me feel threatened, made my life feel threatened, then I have the right to stand my ground. That's exactly what I would do. So when they tried to say that I said that I would kill Filthy and blah, blah, I said no. I said to them not because they threatened and played with the idea that they're going to come here. I said, do not come here because if you come here and you're spotted, the cops get called. Hopefully they'll get here, you'll go to jail. But if you come here, you're not spotted, and you come up to the door and it's a do or get done situation, and I'm going to be choosing to live. Ruski, you are an asshole, dude. I took up for you for them making fun of you for your eye because I have a lazy eye. It's not as serious as yours, but I still have one. And it's the same story over and over and over. I will take up for some of these people who get made fun of by these people. And then yet these people will join in on making fun of me, I guess thinking that that will make them cool and in the in crowd with the group. But they don't realize that group has layers of in crowds, layers and layers. Anything else? I cannot believe, I cannot believe that. That's why I'm changing my phone number tomorrow. Cannot believe people are going to have the audacity to call you. And not record your call. No, no, not just not because well that automatically happens too, but air it live. That's why I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Get it all laid out in my head. These people have been trying to cause me to get myself in trouble, if not get into trouble, like in January. wonder if I wonder how that new vampire movie with Nicolas Cage is. I've been thinking about getting it and trying it out, but it's not available for rent. I think I can only buy it. And I don't want to buy it if I'm not gonna like it. That's why I like Google Play's movie thing so much because uh, if I haven't seen a movie, then I can rent it for 99, and then it's not really that much of a difference. It's just like 8.99 or whatever to pay for it. But sometimes I'll know that I'll like them or whatever. I'll just go ahead and pay for it anyway. But that's one of my hobbies is film screening and reviewing. Like I know all the ins and outs of the movie, from Easter eggs to things about filming it behind the scenes. Like I just eat that stuff up. Yeah, invasion of privacy. That's right.
Celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
I'm gonna
Let's
sleep
celebrate.
good too tonight because I finished school and I was productive all semester. Yes, I was.
It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright.
Workers tried to make it out, so I got expelled, but they failed. Oh, hell.
We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate good times. Come on. It's a celebration.
Yeah, it is. But no, the formula I have, it's $60. It's a 3-day essential oil formula made of 100% essential oils of juniper and different different ones. And it's a general herbal detox. What it does is if it's mainly for people that are switching to natural living instead of pharmaceutical or cooked food living. And because of that, it gets rid of all drugs. It If you're taking a drug and you stop and then you start that on the first day and then continue for a second day and then continue to the third day and on the fourth day finish it up and it's empty and then wait and that day expel and then by the end of that day you can take a pee and you'll be clean of everything. I mean, 100% everything. It gets rid of anything in your system. Oh, now I don't. Now, when it comes to people that are LSD users, from what I understand, that stuff, the portion of it stays in your body in your spinal part column or whatever. So I don't know about that, but it does it
That
does
is
get rid
great.
of everything like that. So that's my plan. Now that I finished graduating, I've already made the order for it from my shaman bud mentor. And when that comes in the mail, I'll have quit smoking. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm just not gonna renew my license next month. That's all. It'll be easy. Yeah, and that thing that one of their Workyverse alt accounts said the other day, talking about it. They're like, not saying it's you, just saying so you know. Like, yeah, when I went to the hospital in January, I wasn't technically committed, and the involuntary part being that I never went before a magistrate and had a representative because it was extended or whatever. See, I never, if it had gotten to the part where it got extended and the doctors felt I could stay there, I needed more observation and treatment, and then I went for a court and they made a ruling and everything like that, and I got adjudged, then yes, I would be prohibited. But all that didn't happen. The initial phase happened, and the doctors that saw me, the first line of people, they probably noted down well, he only had to be sedated one time, and he was cooperative and let us sedate him. And that was because I was kind of throwing like a fit basically over the way they were giving me these answers and stuff. Like I was pissed off and just raising hell. So they came in there, they gave me some Haldol. I go night night. I have to go night night. But then the rest of the time after that, and the next day, I went up to each person from the night before and I apologized to them sincerely um, for having to experience and go through that. And they were like, "Oh, it's nothing. We deal with that stuff all the time." I was like, "No, it seriously though, I was like it means something to me, it made me reflect on myself hard." Um, and I used it in the back of my mind. I know that I'm not supposed to, but I went ahead and used it for a positive experience. So, but since I was seen and I got released before I was even allowed under the law to be released, then I am definitely not a mental defective, and I am not, and I was not committed fully. So that does not apply to my right on that. It very well could have turned into that though, and then I would have had to pay a lawyer. And I would have spent. I would be using some of the money I have now, and I'd be spending money with an attorney to get that restored because I know workers can say they're gonna hate it all they want to, because they that don't none of them. It's all their opinion, or at least they're pushing that I shouldn't be allowed or whatever else like that. Well, I'm glad they're not a Supreme Court justice or anything else like that because, you know, and it's ironic because a lot of them are supposed to be like Republican or red-blooded Americans. The Second Amendment is not for certain, you know, it's only restricted to convicted felons and people that are judged or found guilty of a crime by reason of insanity. Or if you have, depending on the state and depending upon the officers, if you have marijuana with you, with a gun, that that's why I say people are gonna have to. It's gonna come down to it and decide like, do you want the right to be able to use natural medicine, or because until they get rid of that federal prohibition of it that they have, this gray area is going to keep existing and it's just going to get bigger. I mean, they just need to make it federally legal for medicinal use only and leave the states up to do it recreationally. Or hell, make it medical and recreational use only, set under by the state's regulations. You know, in other words, it's not just completely, you have to act within the laws, you know. That way you have some regulations and stuff. So you have some oversight. It's not running around willy-nilly and businesses could bank then. Uh, who knows? Maybe insurance companies would start deciding to cover it. I mean, that's another thing. Insurances will never be allowed or even think about covering or adding that to coverage of their policies as long as it's federally illegal. And I'll tell you a secret that they don't want to they don't want to do that anyways. Yeah, let's
Colon cancer made me queasy. But now I found a way.
yes they do. What are you talking about? Who? Yes they do. Who? I done forgot. Okay, you're going to have to tell me what you're talking about because I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, because that way it would make it, like right now, I don't understand it because they try to make it out to seem like you're in violation if you possess a firearm with it. But the people up at the pot shop that consume cannabis, that have the licenses to consume and agent licenses because they work there, uh, they have a guy up there that's carrying 24/7. You know, he's security, and they have somebody that carries with that drives the truck that delivers the stuff. So now, according to federal law, that's illegal. But the thing is, with Missouri passed a law saying, well, it don't matter. Federal law is not gonna take away our Second Amendment, and they overturned it, and so we're fighting and appealing it right now because they're trying to remove it and get rid of that because it allows people to sue law enforcement officers up to $50,000 each violation of them trying to enforce a federal law. And it's just there's so much of a gray area. It's crazy. Nothing, Mocon. Just listening to some music and chilling, man. What about you?
You weave your spell, your eyes lay back at
Kind
me.
of a celebration stream. I graduated today from college finally. Although it doesn't mean I may not go back again later on because there's always better money and better uh, posi next better position on up I could choose to do. But at least I got my starter done. This is the problem. I've been trying to get this done for a couple of years and had setbacks and stuff, so I'm just glad I finally got it done. Into the fire. I'm falling.
This time I feel you won't be back no. When you're here, you're the curse of my soul. Into the fire, I'm intended once more.
Into the
Into the
fire.
fire,
I'm
I'm
falling.
falling.
Into the
Into the
fire.
fire,
I'm
I'm
falling.
falling. Into the fire, into the fire, into the fire, I'm falling.
Classic, classic song. It's also a song used in a Freddy Krueger movie.
Monza.com makes scans great again. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna say it.
What kind of dog is he, Mocon? Oh, that's cool, Z. You're gonna get the pup? That's cool. I'd go for adoption, but that's up to you, man. Some people like to buy their dogs.
Again because they never were, and they're complicated.
Nothing wrong with buying a dog. Just make sure you I mean, if you're gonna buy one, like if it's, you know, if it don't have no papers, make sure that it's not an exorbitant amount of a price for a mixed breed because they shouldn't cost that much. If it does have papers though, be prepared to spend quite the money. He's like, we got the videos of you smoking a bong, Oh, okay, yeah, during what my breaks, it's in between school, okay, and uh, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna have it in my system when I go to get the job, dummy. And you're not gonna know where I'm going to get the job anyways, dummy.
I was broke, pocket full of lead. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips on the road like a trucker, man. Had to take some trips, doing shows for my brothers, but strapped with extra clips just in case any sucker would on the
My
run this bill.
first job, I'm probably gonna have to get some experience somewhere. I'm gonna have to take whatever wherever I can get or go. So it's, it's not like it's gonna be something easy that you'll know about. Because if you think that I'm gonna try to work where I did my clinicals at, you're out of your mind. I'm just, I wouldn't work there for the simple fact, because of a lot of different things, but mainly also has to do with I did clinicals there and they got ruined by the workyverse. So
I don't trust a car swimming like the trip. I stay all about my getty green hell with some time. Did some crime that was petty, seen still getting mine. All this hate I'm hearing though, I ain't fearing. Better try to be going old man with your cheering. Escalate what a nigga steering. Last days nearing, trying to get it right with God. Only one who I'm fearing, hoping I'ma make it keep it real. Never do I fake it chances for a nigga to get paid, so I take it living like a
wishing
player.
that you could
Wishing that you could, knowing it's up to the good, still down with the hood. This
squeeze
life we
it.
live, oh slow, oh it's so, oh slow, oh it's so. This life we live, oh slow, oh it's so, oh slow, oh it's so. Last year, my cousin took a fall, a sad song. Seemed like we were just on the phone. Now he gone. People used to try to judge him, say he was wrong, but you can't try to judge a man. You do you wrong, smoking out on the daily face. In the clouds, drinking liquor, falling on my face. Wondering how I survived all this foolishness. Off in the street, riding dirty, I ain't new to this. I'm packing heat, but the streets very hazardous to niggas' health.
You
Watch
ain't
your step, you
Lazarus.
ain't Lazarus. You meet your death. I'm the man
North,
from the
north.
north side of the town. But the real do support me and keep a found. Staying down, got your gold grills. Drove in the air, barbecue on the grill, something cool for a player. When I ride through the streets, hoes are plentiful. Cause the life that we live so
Beautiful.
beautiful. This life we live, oh slowly, oh it's so, oh slowly, oh it's so. This life we live, oh slowly.
And I mean, isn't it ironic? People will say, oh, people can go through college and graduate all the time. Messed up. Well, the first year of college that I wasn't messed up. I passed a course, but only because I dropped the other course because I had chosen to do two of the hardest courses at the same time on prereq. But there was uh, a time that I was doing, you know, this wasn't college, but it was school related, and I was smoking heavily back then. I mean, I was really, really smoking. That's all I was doing. And it affects your performance. So if I was this big junk box, it was supposedly, allegedly abusing what I get and getting from God knows where else and doing all that. How would have I ever made it through this semester and passed the courses, the assessments? You know, I had to do assessments showing I know how to put on proper protective equipment, showing that I know how to do CPR. I had to get certified in it. Not that I wasn't already. Well, I needed to renew it, so I just got recertified. Um, like I said, people, I have worked in healthcare for a decade, taking care of people, some of the some of the hardest people to take care of, and some of the most sweetest and best people to take care of. And even the people that were hard to take care of, they were still good people. They just had a hard life. And that does affect their personality, unfortunately. And they can't see it. Only other people can see it. And it's sad. When I heard about my first ever client passing away, it really hit me. So how's that for empathy?
So, oh, it's so, oh, so, oh, it's so. Gotta take the good with the bad, smile with the sad, love what you got and remember what you had. Messing with the ones who helped me in the times when I was flat broke, didn't even have a dime. My family, they was there, my niggas, they was there. The rest of y'all left me for dead, didn't care. I used to have dreams, living large in this thing. And by the grace of God, still alive in this thing. I strive in this game to get all that I can. Never said I'm the main. Respect me as a man. To you ones think I owe you something. Now that's a joke. Think you're bad, come and get you something. Hollow the throat. Either chill, either wait. You can love, you can hate. Either go and get your own, or you can sit and wait on the next man to come up. You can beat this. You can't do what I do. That's
Business.
business. This life we live. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so this life we live. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so
Chevy Silverado factory lifted trucks with the capability of a 2-inch lift, versatility of the available multi-flex tailgate, and the connection of a 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Chevy Silverado, taking adventure to a whole new level.
Here, but now they're gone. Seasons don't feel the reaper, nor do the wind, the sun, or the rain. Be like they are. Come on, baby, baby, take my hand. We'll be able to fly. Baby, I'm the man. Valentine is done. Here, but now they're gone. Romeo and Juliet.
Why I named him Brownie? Because I don't know, I used to have a cat named Smokey, and he kind of had the color of hair. It looked like smoke. Um, Brownie has brown hair, so I was like, "Hey, Brownie," you know, just like something with an E, feeling, and people were trying, and Morkyverse is also trying to put out this false narrative today, like that that he as a PSD gets a license. No, he don't. He gets a letter, and I've got a letter from my psychiatrist, although I'm gonna have to get an updated one. It's still good though. I don't have it though. The other copy I had is with I have it on file. I gave it. I had to get a copy made, and I had another copy made, and then I had one, and I had turned one into the school. I turned one into where I had to turn one into where we live, and that last one that I had, I ended up taking it, and I don't know what's happened with it. Just got misplaced. But now that I don't see her anymore, even though it's still in effect, I just have to get another letter. But yeah, he had to take what's called a public access or good citizen test, um, which basically means he's good to go in the public. Other than that, his training when it comes to service dogs, it could be just training I made up and taught him. Although that's not recommended and that's not what I did. But under the ADA and Americans with Disabilities Act, a service dog does not have to be professionally trained. They can be self-trained. And so I invested money into a AKC vet tech trainer to help me train him. And we're still working over some details as we speak. I think I even covered that here a while back. I had told people that I had put it on pause because money had been bad. I got that money, so then I able to go ahead and reactivate his training. But he is a psychiatric service dog. He is. The only thing is he just got to get stronger and stronger at his skills. Do I use him as in like the fullest sense? Like, do I always take him out to places? No. Um, that's what this whole first past year of owning him, I've been doing since I got him and decided that that's what I wanted to do with him. I'm slowly training him to be able to work that way fully because when I found him, he was abused. When he was adopted and rescued by me, he was abused. And so whenever we go in places and stuff, he is scared and skittish and stuff. And so, yeah, I've been taking this whole year, slowly taking him out more and more to restaurants, whatever. And they started talking about they were going to call and report that I had an unlicensed. Da, da, da. You can do a quick Google search and find out that there are no licenses for service dogs. I thought that they were gaslighting me. So I just said, look, I'm not gonna stay here because I was being bombarded, really. But yeah, they were completely gaslighting me. Now, there are services that offer you to register with that organization or whatever that and there I'm sure there's one that's like nationally recognized. You can on your own register your dog and you can get him ID tags and all that stuff and a certificate number and all that. And it would look like you had an official service dog, right? But that dog is just as official as the person that's got a service dog that doesn't have that paper. Just as official. The Americans with Disabilities Act states that there are two requirements that must be met when a person is trying to use a public access place with a service dog. They have to be able to answer two questions. And those two questions are easy to answer because they are what does he help with and you know how does he help with that you know uh, don't quote me on that because I'm not even exactly sure if they can ask if it's what's the condition or what is or what type of is he trained to help with I'm not exactly there's they can't ask certain questions they can ask certain variations of those two questions which is basically to find out like why do you have him? Why do you have the service dog? And what does he help? What function does he help out with? Some people they have them because they can't see. So they're guide dogs. Sure, Mocon. Sure. Citizen Z, the only problem I have currently is I've got some things that are unorganized, but my doctors are going to like if they want me to take less of something or whatever, they will eventually do that. Like that will take care of itself. I don't have a problem, you know. I don't care how many times you watch me fall asleep. I was taking a lot of extra shit on top of what I am regularly prescribed. And that extra shit was cannabis. Okay. All right. There's no that's the end of the mystery. Like there is no other problem. I don't know why you say stuff like that. Dude, don't talk to me about that. Yeah, I hate it. I don't like the fact that I'm medically dependent on medicines. I don't like that. but I would not be the only person screwed. Diabetics, people with heart diseases and different conditions, and fibromyalgia and different things, they would also be hurt. Do not pretend to act like if you're gonna sit there and seriously go off with the thing that you don't have nothing wrong with you, like, dude, I am not a fucking what's the word? I am not a hypochondriac, or as fucking Mustard Squirrel likes to say, malingerer. I'm not faking anything. I never have. And I didn't start learning about my anxiety and depression and getting it diagnosed until I was first in high school. But I was given Buspar and it made me think and feel weird, so I ended up getting off of it. And then I didn't see a psychiatrist anymore because I was basically led to believe that they were evil by Scientology. Dependent Medical dependence and addiction seem similar, but they're not the same thing, dude. Active addiction is like you're at a point where every day you're on the teeter-totter line of breaking the law or on the lines of the law, skeeting to try to get your fix, or you're taken from family, whatever else like that. I mean, or you're ripping people off. I mean that's active addiction. Like pawning shit and stealing stuff and all that. That is active addiction. You can't tell me the same thing we do, which is following a doctor's uh, instructions and playing it by the book is the same as somebody that just takes things how they want to, when they want to, and doesn't follow any rules.
All together in eternity, 40,000 men and women every day. 40,000 men and women every day. Every 40,000 coming every day. Come on, baby. Baby, take my hand. You'll be able to fly. Baby, I'm your man.
La, la, la. That's a classic song, you guys. You know that?
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
So, you're canceling. You're being too loud. Good choice. My lucky number.
Plus, earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel. What's in your wallet?
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done.
Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Cry no more.
Rise above the noise of infusion,
Just to get a glimpse beyond this
illusion,
I was soaring in a
higher.
fire, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on, I was done. Every piece when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Masquerading as a man with a reason. My charade is the event of the season. And if I claim to be a wise man, well, it surely means that I don't know. On a stormy sea of blue emotion, tossed about, I'm like a ship on the ocean. I set a course for winds of fortune, but I hear the voices say, carry on my wayward son. Everything's when you are done. Bring your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. You will always remember. Carry on. Nothing equals the splendor. Now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you. Carry on my wayward son. Every piece when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry. Don't you cry no more.
PayPal works with the tools you already use, like e-commerce, WooCommerce, and more.
All of time's here, but now they're gone. Empty history, misery, isn't he the enemy? Man, I'm talking empty history, penalty, memory is killing me. Man, I'm talking empty history, misery, isn't he the enemy? Man, I'm talking empty history, penalty, memories is killing me. Man, I'm talking empty history, misery, is it he the enemy? Man, I'm talking empty history, penalty, memories is killing me. Hold up, wait a minute, don't interrupt, finish the sentence. So what? You get offended. I'm pulling up, couple of minutes. Is it for real? Is it authentic? How do I feel? Let me admit it. Popping the pill, killing my open the business and tell my dad like, 2 years I did that. That's 2 years I won't get back. A few years I hit a bag like, every day I know they hate it. They don't stay motivated. Look at me now, tell them I made it. Every time I see it, I get a bad. How can a traffic stop? Turn it to a killer. Who was the law? Who was the villain? Know what I saw? Innocent killing. In the car, now you a felon. Doing the right, nobody else talking about empty history. Misery, isn't he the enemy? Man, I'm talking empty history. Penalty, memories is killing me. Man, I'm talking empty history. Misery, isn't he the enemy? Man, I'm talking empty history. Penalty, memories is killing me. Man, I'm talking empty history. Misery, isn't he the enemy? Man, I'm talking empty history. Penalty, memories is killing me.
They talk this and they talk that. They talk a lot, but don't talk facts. They rob and kill and they get praised. Patriotism in evil ways. Talking trailer tears and stolen land. So I'm never fighting for Uncle Sam. I'm illegal, what you telling me? I can't manifest y'all destiny. My country disappear. Awful land of slavery. I took my hat, master.
Sorry about that. You guys, hold on.
Ever. I seen the most important thing to me to be the first one to put somebody's personal story out there. But let me peel back the curtain for everybody real quick.
Say,
So this is going to kind of be awkward to even admit.
now, before this video gets started, yeah, I have seen it already. But I want to say that I was told a long, long time ago, over about a year ago, by somebody about Gotcha Man, that he was technically like the reason why what happened with Gobble happened the way it did is because Gotcha Man is Team Church. Now, that's what I was told, and I questioned it. I said, yeah, but he makes so much videos about it. They said, well, think about it. You know, it's the perfect cover because he's always critical of him also. And I think what he says here is very telling in relationship to what that person had said to me about in relation to that, because he may have well been, and now he's stopping. Crazy, crazy.
To and probably going to be a shock to some of you guys. Some of you not. I've seen some of the comments, and some of you guys are smart and figured it out. You guys kind of saw me reading notes and stuff off my phone. But this is it, man. This is the video where I admit I have been paid to say certain things for certain people, but this is the video where I say no more. I don't want your money anymore. Patty, I seen the cash app you just sent me this morning, and too bad. I'm not saying anything. I tried to back you up and say I didn't think you stole anything. I tried to go down that route. You wanted to play a game, so I don't have your back anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not accepting it. I'm just going to reverse the funds or however
I didn't even remember him ever backing up Miss Patty like that.
you do that. I don't want your money. Same for Ronnie. You know, I don't want any more money from you.
Seems weird that Mr. Ronnie would have had to pay you because your stance was Ronnie's stance, it seemed, or at least that's what you portrayed.
That's the difference, man. You know, I don't need the money, and I don't need to be in the middle of y'all's drama no more.
Everybody could use the extra money. If you're not already rich, then any money that comes your way, you can use, and you only wouldn't use it unless it violated your morals to an extent. But even then, if the situation was drastic enough, you'd probably do whatever you'd have to.
So yeah, that's right. I've been being paid to say things on both sides. You know, I've stirred up some
On both
a little
sides. That's
bit
that's
of
what
a
that's what that's
mess.
what's
You know,
most suspicious about this all. Like, why both sides?
and kind of went back and forth.
Is it
But
to get all this attention onto this stuff?
no more, man. Don't nobody send me no more money attached with notes to you know. Here's what I want you to say, and here's how I want you to say it. I'm not doing it anymore. Like I said, I don't need the money. Here's what y'all don't realize, okay? I drive a rock truck.
Okay, so either that was all satire and parody, and nobody's been sending him any cash out, and he was just making fun of Johnny, or it was half and half. I don't know which. But we'll see. Let's see who's this guy he's talking about. You too, man. You have a good night, Miss Mama Ice.
One of y'all want to tell me why the Wish version of Year One's Jack Black is in my comments, whining and trying to prove himself?
Thank you, Dr. Byron, for the kind words, and you stay good, man, and be safe. I wasn't trying to make things about me or anything, but no, I it just was clear to me when I went on the Army's panel the other day and she completely showed her true colors. I was like thinking to myself later, like, yeah, why do you have JM up on your panel when he has that picture of Ice's mom? Like, because she used to always be a big Iceman supporter, quote unquote. And now she's slumming it with Workyverse because she knows she's vulnerable. You think he meant that towards not making any more videos? Well, I mean, the way he did it at the end,
What's up,
it was almost
shit?
like he's not gonna stop. It was just all put on act almost. That's what I thought.
Win? Oh, it's Southwind. Whatever. Shit wind, Southwind. They all come from the South, right? What kind of look are you going for? Overfed Nugent? It's an odd look.
I gotta give Gotcha Man credit, man. He does make funny roast videos.
To be honest, it's an odd look. And yes, that's a fat joke. You know, like some of the people told you in the comments, it's comedy.
Here, let me do it this way just to make sure that it's coming through nice and smooth, the video quality.
I don't know. I think you're aware of that. I seen a video that said, you know, hey, this is something funny from Southwind. So let's look. You know, from a comedian to another. Let's review it.
Yo, y'all check out this story. So whenever I was in high school, I had a crush on this girl. I had a class with her. And I was trying to be cool. And I was trying to say, she gave me something or handed me something. And I said, thanks. I was going to say, thanks, girl. Or thanks, dog. But instead, I accidentally said, thanks, girl, dog.
Okay, like, yeah, that would have been a little awkward, maybe cringe even, embarrassing. But I don't see how that's a joke, really. So I get Gotcha Man's expression.
Moving on. So, guys, when he says in the comments, ask the Gotcha Man, he started it. What he's referring to is a comment on the multiple versions and milking of this interview he did. Are you really going to defend and say you're not milking the absolute ever living fuck out of this interview thing? You really going to?
You mean kind of like how Crack Squad and Workyverse does to all these narratives they push to other people that criticize their actions?
Say that. I mean, hell, at this point, here I'll help you out. I'll set up next week's video. Next week on milking the shit out of one interview, exclusive. Upchurch wiggles his toe while listening to an unreleased song.
Damn, that's loud.
Shit win. But anyway, old Southwind.
Oh my God.
Found it prudent to get my comments and tell me that if it doesn't pertain to me and it's between two other people or two other parties, that I should mind my own business.
Our jelly roll and Upchurch beefing.
Damn, seems we both speak on things, don't we? But I do.
Oh shit. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
In a comedic way. You remember, like I was talking about earlier, comedy?
But instead, I accidentally said, thanks, girl, dog.
Yeah, just like that.
Oh my God, dude. Man, like, I pray for the person that tries to go at gotcha.
Old Mr. Southwind. Dude said it was God and Upchurch that gave me this opportunity. No, it was your begging ass videos. We all saw
to do the interview with you. It would make my year, sir, if I was one of the ones who was able to do a virtual interview with you, bro.
if you give it to me, it'll make my whole year. I mean, it'll make my whole year. I mean, please, Upchurch.
Ah, come on, it's a little low ball attack.
You're like a god to me. I put you guys in the same category.
He didn't say, come on now.
Any grown man who idolizes another grown man to that extent is fucking weird.
That's your opinion. I mean, that is funny. Yeah. All right, that was good. Play some more music.